Jai Hind children, let us continue the chapter Motion and Time. We use the word time for different purposes. In some situations, without using the word time, we express the duration of time like so late, so quickly, etc. So how we calculate time? Vinay and Ranjit started for office at 9 a.m. from their houses which are side by side. Vinay started on a car and Ranjit on a bicycle. We can easily estimate that Vinay reaches the office earlier than Ranjit, isn't it? But to answer the question of how early Vinay reached, we need to measure the time taken by both Vinay and Ranjit and find the difference of time between both the cases. For this, we need time measuring instruments like watches, clocks, etc. Because at present time is measured by modern and advanced instruments like electronic clocks, digital clocks, quartz clocks, etc. A few decades ago, people used pendulum clocks that have now become rare. Measurement of time using stop clock. Stop clock or stopwatch is an improved form of a wristwatch and it can be used to measure the time interval between the occurrence of events accurately. It can be started and stopped by pressing a button and measures time up to 1/10th of a second. We might have seen stop clocks in the laboratory to measure the short intervals of time like time taken for completion of chemical reaction or time taken by the pendulum for one oscillation, etc. Similarly, stopwatches also help us to accurately measure the time in running races, swimming races, etc. Nowadays, stop clocks are found in almost all cell phones. Next, units of time. Based on the context, we can express the time in seconds or minutes or hours to specify the occurrence of time and the time taken by an event. Based on the fundamental unit of time suggested by the International System of Unit is the second. Its symbol is S. The larger units of time are minutes and hours. The following table gives information about the units of time. 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute, 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour, 24 hours is 1 day, 365 days 1 year, 10 years 1 decade, 10 decades 1 century and 10 centuries 1 millennium. Many time measuring devices were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular. For example, sundials, sand clocks, water clocks are some examples of such devices. Nowadays, clocks or watches are the most common time measuring devices. The working of clocks is rather complex. but all of them make use of some periodic motion. One of the most well-known periodic motions is that of a simple pendulum. A simple pendulum consists of a small metallic ball and tied to a thread of 1 meter length and suspended freely from a rigid stand. The metallic ball is called the bob of the pendulum. When the bob of the pendulum is released, after taking it slightly to one side, it begins to move to and fro. During motion, there are two positions where the bob stops and changes its direction. These positions are called as extreme positions of the pendulum. Let us denote them by A and B. There is a moderate position between the two extreme positions. It is called the mean position of the pendulum. Let us denote it by O. When the bob is at rest, it is at its mean position, that is O. The motion of bob, that is the motion of simple pendulum, repeats itself after certain time. Such motion is said to be periodic or oscillatory motion. The bob completes one oscillation when it moves from its mean position, goes one of the extreme position and then to other extreme position and returns to mean position again. The time taken by the bob to complete one oscillation is called the time period of the pendulum. We measure the time period by measuring the time required to complete an oscillation from the extreme position. It is difficult to measure time period in one move. There is the method to measure the time period of the pendulum. Mark the mean position of the bob on the floor. Switch off the fans. Take a clock to measure time, preferably a stopwatch. Bring the ball at one side and now release the ball, and at the same time start the stopwatch. Go on counting the oscillations. Stop the stopwatch as soon as the pendulum completes 20th oscillations. Make the table and enter the time taken to complete 20 oscillations. Take few readings performing similar activity and note down all the readings. For each reading, calculate time period of the pendulum by dividing time taken by number of oscillations. Is the time period nearly same in all cases? Yes, you will find that time period is same in all the cases. A simple pendulum repeats its motion after fixed time period. We can take it as reference to measure time. In fact, we can use any periodic motion to measure time. Next, about distance time graph. Generally, newspapers and magazines use different types of graphs to represent the information in an interesting way. They often use bar graph, pie charts and line graphs, which provide greater details of the information and make the information more interesting. For a body in motion, we can draw its distance time graph, which is a line graph. To draw the distance time graph, take a sheet of graph paper and draw two lines perpendicular to each other on it. Now mark the horizontal line as x, O, x dash. It is known as the x-axis. Similarly, mark the vertical line y, O, y dash. It is the y-axis. The point of intersection of x, O, x dash and y, O, y dash is known as the origin, that is O. The two quantities between which the graph is drawn are shown along these two axes. Generally, the positive values are shown along OX on the x-axis and along OY on the y-axis. Let us draw the distance time graph of the data given in the table for the motion of a car. Decide the quantity to be shown along the x-axis and that to be shown along the y-axis. In this case, we take the time along the x-axis and the distance along the y-axis. Choose a scale to represent the distance and another to represent the time on the graph. For the motion of the car, scale could be x-axis. 1 centimeter is equal to 1 second and y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 5 meters. Mark values for the time and the distance on the respective axes according to the scale as we have chosen. From the table, the set of values for time and distance are 0, 0, 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15, 4, 20, 5, 25, 6, 30 and 7, 35. The first number of the set represents time and the second number represents the corresponding distance. To mark for the set of values 0, 0, look at 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. This point is the origin. To mark a point for the set of values 1, 5, look for 1 on the x-axis and draw a line parallel to y-axis passing through this point. Look for 5 on the y-axis and draw a line parallel to x-axis passing through this point. The point of intersection gives the point that represents 1, 5. In the same way, mark the points corresponding to different sets of values as shown in the image. Join all the points on the graph. It's a straight line, which is the distance time graph for the motion of the car. If the distance time graph is a straight line, it indicates that the object is moving with a constant speed, that is uniform motion. However, if the speed of the object keeps changing, the graph can be of any shape, that is non-uniform motion. So, we can say that the distance time graph indicates the type of motion, whether it is uniform motion or non-uniform. Hence, we can conclude that the distance time graph gives information about the distance covered by an object in a definite time interval and also the distance covered by an object at any instant of time is to be measured.
So, what all portions we discussed in this chapter? Motion, different types of motion, slow or fast motion, speed and measurement of time, motion of simple pendulum and distance time graph. Thank you.